ॐ सहना सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्म पादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं त्रोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Hari Om, salutations to all. So we saw the introduction, we saw the Shanti mantra, and now there are two verses written by Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji. They are the Mangalacharan, which he has written before his Bhashya. So we will be studying that. I had shared the Sanskrit with Hindi translation as well as the English one. I hope you have been able to read that. प्रज्ञानांशु प्रतानैस्थिरचरनिकर व्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्थविष्ठान् पुनरपि धिषणोत् भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुङ् मायया भोजयन्नो माया संख्यातुरीयं परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि। यो विश्वात्मा विधिज विषयान् प्राश्य भोगान् स्थविष्ठान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् स्वमति विभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणः पात्वसौ नस्तुरीयः। In these two verses, the Mangalacharan, Shankaracharya ji has actually given the whole essence of the Mandukya Upanishad. So what is the Mandukya Upanishad? It is the analysis of the three states of awareness and what is the substratum of these three, which is the Turiya Avastha, and through that it is the nature of the self that is revealed. So, and through Omkar, these three states as well as the Turiya is elaborated through Omkar. So the 12 mantras, then the Karikas and the Bhashya, etc. No doubt they are there, and one can study them, and in depth one will understand. But the essence of all that is completed only in these two verses. In a very nice way he has summarized, made it concise. So if one understands these two, one has actually understood the whole Mandukya Upanishad. So what are these two verses? Now let us see. So first one, Prajnanamshu Pratanaihi. Prajnana Amshu. So this is, let us see from the last line actually. Brahmatan Natosmi. That Brahman I am saluting. Which Brahman? All the other words in the shloka are descriptions of that Brahman. What is that Brahman? Prajnanamshu Pratanaihi. Is Prajnana. So first word is Prajnana. Brahma is described here as, indicated here as Prajnanam. So what is Prajnanam? We will come to the deeper meaning of each word. First let us finish the literal meaning. So what is the literal meaning? Prajnanamshu Pratanaihi. Prajnana Amshu. Amshu is race. So the race of this Brahman, as though. Swamiji, we thought Brahman doesn't have any race, but we will see what is the meaning of that. So the literal meaning is, I bow down to that Brahman whose race, Prajnanamshu Pratanaihi, pervade Sthira Chara Nikara Vyapibhir Vyapya Lokan, pervades the whole creation of moving, non-moving things, and which Bhuktva Bhogan Sthavishtan, which enjoys the gross sense objects, Punarapi Dhishanodbhasitan Kamajanyan. So this Bhuktva Bhogan Sthavishtan indicates the waking state, having enjoyed the gross objects in the waking state. Punarapi, once again, it enjoys the sense objects, Kamajanyan, Dhishanodbhasitan, projected by the mind. This indicates the dream state. In the dream state, the whole dream world is projected and Brahman as though is enjoying that. So having experienced the waking state, gross objects, then it goes into the dream state and enjoys that also. So Bhuktva, you have to connect to both the states. Bhuktva Bhogan Sthavishtan. Having enjoyed this, it goes into this. Like we say, having taken bath, I sat for the class. It indicates two actions. I have completed the bath and now I am sitting for the class. Same way, having enjoyed the sense objects, the gross objects in the waking state, now this Brahman imagines the whole dream world and experiences the subtle sense objects in the dream world. Then having done that, one goes into deep sleep state. Pitva sarvan visheshan swapiti madhurabhung. Pitva sarvan, having experienced both these, one goes into the third state where these are absent now. The waking state is also not there, the gross objects not there, the subtle objects also not there. Swapiti, sleeps very nicely, peacefully. Madhura Bhung is drinking what? Enjoying bliss. Madhura is here Ananda. Blissfully one slept. And some people come to the class to sleep blissfully. Elsewhere they don't get proper sleep. Sleep. Why? Very heavy Vedanta, can't understand, so the mind switches off and gone to sleep. Madhura Bhung, Mayaya Bhojayanna. Now, this is by Maya, these three are appearing actually. Mayaya Bhojayannaha. Maya Sankhya Turiyam. This Sankhya 4, Turiyam, is illusory. It is not really, Brahman is not fourth. After waking, after dream, after deep sleep, when the three states are crossed, then the fourth state is experienced. It is not like that. It is only appearance. So we say 1, 2, 3, and it is to say beyond the three, in the sense this fourth one doesn't have the experiences of these three. But it is the basis of these three. So Maya Sankhya Turiyam. And what are the pointers of that Brahman? Paramam. So Parama is supreme. Amrita is immortal. Aja, unborn. And Brahma is that which is the biggest. This word is also split as Parama, Ritam and Ajam. Parama is supreme, Rita is truth, Satyam, and Ajam, unborn. These are pointers of this Brahman. Parama, Amrita, Aja, or Param, Ritam, Ajam. To that Supreme Brahman I prostrate. Brahma Yattan Natosmi. Now, this is the literal meaning of the shloka. If you read in English, the translation that is given, I bow to that Brahman which, after having enjoyed during the waking state the gross objects by pervading all the human objectives through a diffusion of its rays of unchanging consciousness that embraces all that moves or does not move, which again, after having drunk all the variety of objects produced by desire and lighted up by the intellect in the waking state, sleeps while enjoying bliss and making us enjoy through Maya, and which is counted as the fourth from the point of view of Maya, and is supreme, immortal and birthless. The literal meaning. Now let us see. Prajnanamshu pratanaihi. Jnana and prajnana, what is the difference? In this context we are seeing the difference. Okay, sometimes the word jnanam itself is indicating Supreme Brahman. Like when we say in the Taittiriya Upanishad it comes Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Brahma is Satyam, pure existence. Jnanam, pure consciousness. Anantam, infinite. And that Ananta itself is Ananda, so supreme bliss. So there the word Jnanam itself is indicating Brahman. Here Prajnanam is used, like we have in the Mahavakya from the Aitareya Upanishad, Prajnanam Brahma. So there Brahma is called Prajnanam. Here also Prajnanam. In that context we are making this distinction between Jnanam and Prajnanam. Jnanam is with duality, where the knower is different from the known, and the knower has to contact the known for the knowledge to arise. For example, the eyes are different right now from the computer. Now the eye contacts the computer, then the knowledge of this computer will arise. Mind, through the eye, through all the senses, goes out, experiences the whole world. Where the enjoyer is different from the enjoyed, knower is different from the known, and the contact between the knower and the known gives rise to that knowledge. That knowledge is there temporary, till another thought will replace it. So now I am seeing the computer as computer thought. When I see the book, now computer thought is replaced, the book thought has come. So the knowledge which we get about the object is finite, and the knower remains always distinct from that object. That is called knowledge, jnanam in this context. And in the world we need that knowledge, so there is no problem with that. One can go use the equipments, one can learn many things. The idea is not to not learn. The idea is not to say, okay, this is jnanam, where duality exists. But the idea is to know that this whole thing is functioning because of the equipment. The equipment, the mind, intellect, through the senses, goes out, contacts the object, knowledge arises in the mind and intellect. This is the process, prakriya. And that the knowledge quality depends on the quality of the equipment. If there are, let us say, 103 people right now here, all of them are listening to the class, but each of them will understand how as per their own temperament, which means what? As per their own quality of the mind and intellect. Two people eat ice cream. It's not that both of them have same experience. Somebody likes it little bit, somebody enjoys it a lot, somebody doesn't like it. So the knowledge in the world depends on the equipment, the experience depends on the equipment. Sometimes somebody is able to understand something and somebody is not able to understand. Advaita Vedanta, not everybody will be able to understand. Maybe mathematics, not everybody is able to understand. Chemistry, not everybody is able to understand. So some will understand, some will not understand, some will excel. Depends on the quality of that equipment, temperament of that equipment. And this knowledge has its own utility value. I can use it, I can apply it, I can earn my living through it, I can attain anything, name, fame, power, position, so many things. That is jnanam. But that knowledge is not capable of removing my sorrow completely. That knowledge is not capable of making me absolutely fearless. It can bring certain level of comfort in life, certain money in life, certain grounding and security when I know okay, how to live in this world, what are the various things to be done, where to invest the money, how to get the money, how to buy things. I have a house, I have car, I have people to love me. So that has its own importance and value, but it will not remove my sense of finitude. It will not remove my sense of destructibility, impermanence, emptiness, loneliness. That it cannot remove. It can fill my life with things. I can fill my mind with various even philosophical ideas. All that it can do, but it will not be able to remove this. Prajnanam is that knowledge of the self which is a witness of the mind as well as the world outside, the objects. So this mind and intellect, the senses are the equipment. Prajnanam is that consciousness which is the enlivener of these, which is a witness of these. And when mind goes out through the senses, enjoys the object, knowledge is arising, prajnanam or consciousness or Brahman is the witness of the whole thing, yet it is unaffected by any of these. The knowledge of computer is replaced by the knowledge of the book in the example that we gave earlier. But consciousness is aware of the knowledge of the computer rising in the mind and intellect, and that being replaced by the knowledge of the book. It is affected by neither. It is there at all times. Even when all the three, waking, dream, deep sleep, these three states are transcended, it is still there. Even when mind and intellect is not there in deep sleep, it is there. So this knowledge, prajnanam, is jnana swarupam. It is not jnanam, it is not knowledge of things where subject knows something. The subject is gaining knowledge of maths, physics, chemistry, computer, whatever one is experiencing. Knowledge of the flower, knowledge of the nature, knowledge of the people. It is not knowledge of, it is pure knowledge. And that pure knowledge is what is called prajnanam, is Atma, is consciousness, is Brahman. When this duality is gone of the knower and the known, there is absolute peace. Kaivalya Upanishad very beautifully says, Trishu dhamasu yad bhogyam bhokta bhogascha yad bhavet tebhyo vilakshana sakshi chinmatroham sada shivaha. That who am I truly? Trishu dhamasu, in all the three states, waking, dream, deep sleep, or even you can say body, mind, intellect. This duality which is there, bhokta bhogascha yad bhavet, the duality of the enjoyer and the enjoyed, experiencer and the experienced, and then the experiencer contacting the experienced and the experience rising beyond all the three. Tebhyo vilakshana. Then who am I? I am the sakshi, witness of this whole process. And what is the nature of that sakshi? Chinmatroham, only pure consciousness, which is immortal, eternal, which is blissful because it's infinite. Anantam, it is Ananda. And that's why it says Sada Shivaha, always auspicious. That Brahman is our nature, Prajnanam. But now one doesn't know that. So, what has happened? The shloka here is saying Prajnana Amshu, rays. Now like sun has rays and through that it provides warmth and light. Does consciousness have rays like that? No, consciousness doesn't have rays like that. It is not to be taken literally. That rays of consciousness. What it means is Chidabhas. Prajnanamshu pratanaihi means the Chidabhas, reflecting. Consciousness reflecting in equipments is the Chidabhas. So this BMI is by itself made up of 5 elements. The 5 elements are inert. They don't know themselves, they cannot know others. Why is the computer different from this? Body wise both are made up of 5 elements, but this has subtle body which has the ability to reflect consciousness. That doesn't have a subtle body, so it cannot reflect consciousness. So you don't see the experiencer entity there who is responding to stimuli. Here there is an experiencer entity which is responding to stimuli. That entity is called Chidabhas. Chit is consciousness. Reflecting in the Antakarana is Chidabhas. Like the sun reflecting in a bucket of water. That reflected sun, the sun is up there, but there is a reflection. So that reflection which is there, that also gives light. But that light doesn't come from that water or from that bucket. That light belongs to actually that sun. Here what we are thinking, this body, mind, intellect is having its own ability to see, hear, taste, smell, touch, feel, think. It is not. It is a reflection of that consciousness. So that reflected consciousness is Mr. So and so. Like how the sun actually is very huge. It can never be contained in a bucket of water. But that medium is such, water is there and the distance, etc. So it appears as though it is conditioned by that bucket and that reflection is inside that bucket in that water. Same way Brahman is biggest, infinite, reflecting in one equipment and enlivening it, it appears to have become this finite jiva, Mr. So and so. And all are reflections of that. That's why he says prajnanamshu pratanaihi. This reflected consciousness is what one is seeing. So many jivas. That is a chidabhas. And as long as I think I am that entity going through this, now that the consciousness is reflecting as though in the BMI, has assumed one role as Mr. So and so, now there is finitude. Like how that reflection is conditioned by the size of the bucket, by the quality of that water. So if 3 buckets are there and this water in the first bucket is very muddy and dirty, then the reflection will be not very clear. It is still there but can't see it very clearly. Second one, the water is muddy as well as it is shaking. Then the reflection also appears like that. And the third one, water is crystal clear and steady and the reflection is very bright. First one is Mala, second one is Vikshepa. When these 2 impurities are there, then the consciousness is not visible clearly. When that veil of ignorance is gone and that mind has become steady, still, veil of ignorance is gone, then the reflection becomes very clear. So the point is that reflection appears conditioned by the conditioning of the equipment. In the same way, consciousness, which is infinite, of the nature of bliss, which is immortal, that appears as though it has become finite. So we have fear of death, we don't want to die. We get attached to the BMI, don't want to die. One wants to live forever. Why? Because our nature is Sat. Ignorance. If I don't know something, if somebody didn't tell me something and they did, I feel offended. Because actually Jnana is my Swarup and I have gone away from it. So I want to know. And in life I can't handle sorrow. We seek pleasure, enjoyment, we want to escape from loneliness, from emptiness, from sorrow, because that's not our nature. Ananda is our nature. So this Satyam, Jnanam and Anantam, existence, consciousness and bliss, this is our true self, but we don't know that. Having identified with the BMI, now one is living as a finite jiva. So till this jiva bhav is there, one will never be secure, really happy. And that's why this knowledge is called prajnanam, or this Brahman is called prajnanam. Because in that state, all duality ceases. And it is not only some state which is realized, it's not a product of it is not a result of some process, it's not a product which is produced. Okay, do this sadhanas and you will become that. One is that right now also, which is what this shloka is trying to tell us, कि you are that consciousness which is the substratum of all the 3 states. Turiya is not after the 3, it is a substratum of all the 3. So right now I am consciousness only going through waking state. But I am not thinking of myself as consciousness, I am thinking of myself as this prajnanamshu, Mr. So and so. Then I think I am limited by this body. Inside this body I am living, outside this body is the world. So we have created a division of inside and outside. It is all kalpitam, in the mind only. If I stop identifying with this much and I say the whole Srishti is my body, which is what it will come in this Upanishad, Virat, This individual consciousness reflecting in this individual BMI is Vishwa in the waking state. And if I say I am that whole world, all the gross bodies put together is my body. I am that Virat Purusha. Then I am that. We think that how can I be that, Swamiji? I have no control over how many jivas are there, so many people are there, this whole world is like this. Do you and I have control in this one body? Can you control your heart? Can you control your liver? Can you control your, kidney? But it is going on, no? Equipment is there, it is going on, and still I am thinking I am this or not. So think about that. It is in the mind, it's the identification, which is what actually the Omkar Upasana is. Omkar Upasana is not simply chanting Om, Om, Om. That one can do. That will make the mind quiet and single pointed. With that single pointed quiet mind, what do I have to do? Drop my false identification that I am not this jiva, I am prajnanam. So if I expand and I say I am this whole world, then I am the whole world. The dream creator creates the whole dream world. The dream creator only is appearing as the entire dream world, all the mountains and the rivers and the plants, birds, animals, human beings, everything. Now the dream creator is identifying with only one character and saying ki I am this one character, this dream world is separate, dream creator somebody else it is. If that dream character decides to say ki no, I am the whole world, why? Because I am only the dream creator, then that is also truth. They are truth simultaneously they are truth. That he is the dream character also, and he is the dream world also, he is the dream creator also. The choice is what do I identify with. It is not that the dream creator has to now become the character has to now become the dream creator. It's a shift in identification. This is called really today what people call in management paradigm shift. There they use it in a different context in the workplace, etc., where you shift the vision of a person and then productivity increases, efficiency increases, profit increases, vision becomes subtler. Here it is a shift from Jiva Bhav to Brahma Bhav. One realizes, I am that Brahman only. Wrong identification, simply I am thinking I am this Jiva and all my sorrow is imagined. Which is why this is Prajnanam. This knowledge of who am I will not destroy my sorrows. It will make me realize that it was all imagined. It dissolves, it disappears only. Like the dream character, when one wakes up, does one have to handle the sorrows of the dream world one by one? Nothing. One shot, woken up. Array, this whole thing was imagined. The dream didn't exist only. Finished. And that's why Gurudev always used to say, Vedanta does not solve your problems, it dissolves them. Why? Because it makes you realize that the entity who was going through the problem itself is fictitious. And it was imagined by this entity. No, Swamiji, this problem is real only. When the body really goes through pain, that time only you will know all this Vedanta you are telling now is okay, all that is fine in class. But when you have pain in the body, that time you should tell. Honestly, when I studied Vedanta properly, one will tell that only. Yes, this is imagined. This is illusory. This is not real. Gurudev met such Mahatmas when he went on Chardham Yatra. And when he wanted to take sannyas, he was an agnostic and he went to Swami Shivanandaji with the thought that he would expose the bluff of the sadhus. And he was stunned looking at the knowledge of Vedanta, the logic of it, the analysis in the Upanishads and the seva. As a result of that Advaitic understanding, how Swami Shivanandaji and all the ashramites there, how they used to serve humanity. And he was very touched that this is what knowledge of Advaita is doing, where one sees oneness and then one is serving without any need for name, fame, recognition, nothing. Like the whole body of ours, suppose and he used to give that example, if the leg is itching, the hand will go and scratch. The hand is not going to ask, what will the leg give me? Because the sense of I pervades, so that sorrow in that leg, itching in the leg is also my sorrow. It will go and scratch. Same way, one is seeing sorrow and suffering wherever, goes and helps out. Knowing very well that this is illusion. Please remember, knowing very well that my nature is infinite consciousness, I am immortal, unborn, unchanging, one is seeing oneness everywhere and serving. That is Advaita knowledge. It is not to make us dry or to escape from problems. So when Gurudev saw such Mahatmas, Swami Shivanandaji told him that you don't take sannyas right now, go on a Chardham Yatra and see whether you are able to sustain this urge and you can live the life of a sadhu, the life of detachment, the life of service, the life of self-control, where this question that what did I get doesn't remain, then that is true sannyas. Sannyas is not taking ochre robes only. It is dropping bhuhu sanyastam maya, bhuva sanyastam maya, suva sanyastam maya. I have given up. No hankering for pleasure in this world or hereafter. I want nothing. Why? Paramananda is my swarup. What more I want? So when he went, he met, there was one Mahatma whose body was infected and there were maggots on the wound. Some maggots fell down. He lifted them and put them back on his leg. Gurudev is seeing all that. What is he doing? Is it not paining? He asked. And that Mahatma said, it is matter feeding matter. How does it matter? Next morning that Mahatma passed on. But he saw such people who are living the bliss on that face of that Mahatma unaffected by what the condition of the body is. Ramana Maharshi, he told the doctor, perform the surgery, sarcoma he had. He said, you perform left hand. He said, you perform without anesthesia. He said, I went beyond the body long back. So if really one has understood Vedanta and one has lived, done the sadhanas, purified the mind, even if the body is in pain, nothing will happen. It is body's pain. One will watch, Trishudhamasa Yad Bhogyam, one will watch, this is body going through this. So that is our nature, and that is why this knowledge, prajnanam, destroys all sorrows. One wakes up to realize infinite. But today one has not known. So he says, prajnanam supratanaihi, that consciousness which is appearing as this, so many chidabhasa, so many jivas, which actually is pervading everything. Sthira, chara, nikara, vyapibhir, vyapya. It pervades all that which is sthira, non-moving, and chara, moving. So that consciousness which pervades vyapibhir, vyapya lokan, and which pervades all the worlds, not only this bhuloka, all, if you say lokan, 14 worlds, one Brahmanda. Like that many Brahmandas, if one is thinking of all that, it is that one truth which pervades all this. How does consciousness pervade the world? It's very interesting. In Vedanta there are so many different ways to understand. The pervasiveness of consciousness, is it like how the fire pervades the iron ball? Iron ball is round, heavy, cold, dark. Fire is bright, formless, warm. Now this iron ball is put into this fire for a long time. What will happen? This iron ball will appear to become bright and fire will appear to become round. This is called Anyonya Adhyasa. Has fire actually got a shape? No. Has iron ball actually become bright? No. Both have taken up the qualities of each other temporarily. Is that way that consciousness is pervading the whole world? It appears like that, and no doubt Vedanta gives this analogy, and it has its own importance, that how this body, mind, intellect is jada, is like that iron ball, and consciousness is like that fire. Now both these come together. Tapta ayasa pindavat, that's the example given in Vedanta. Tapta ayasa pinda, meaning ayasa is iron, hot ball of iron. So this BMI, which is like the iron, dull and inert, and consciousness, which is like fire, enlivens it. Now this becomes capable of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, feeling, thinking, everything. Is that way the consciousness pervades the world? See, the example of iron ball and the fire in Vedanta is only to say that just like the iron ball does not have its own light, same way BMI does not have its own capability to function. That is one. Two, even though iron ball and fire come together, they have not transformed their actual nature. If you remove that iron ball from fire, what will happen? It will again come back to its dull nature, its dark color, its dark form. It has not actually become that. It is only appearing like that. Same way, when this subtle body ejects out of the gross body will again appear inert. The pervasiveness of consciousness in the world is not like this. In what context? In this there are two which have come together, and each one is giving its quality to the other, superimposing its quality on the other. They are two distinct things. Is it that the world is distinctly separate and then consciousness is there, which is then pervading the world? No. So the pervasiveness of consciousness in the whole world is not like the iron ball and fire. Please remember, again I am saying, don't get confused with this explanation. Iron ball, fire is a valid example in Vedanta to express a certain principle of Anyonya Adhyasa, mutual superimposition. Iron ball and fire coming together superimpose their quality. They have not become that, and they are two distinct things. In that way, is world existing separately from consciousness? No. It is not existing separately, independent of consciousness, and then consciousness is pervading that world. It is not like that. Why? Because consciousness is infinite. Then what can be outside it for it to pervade? There cannot be any duality. If there is something else apart from consciousness, consciousness becomes finite. Both are perishable then. This is the most fundamental difference in the world view of Advaita Vedanta and science, which is why one has to study Vedanta properly and understand also the limitation of science. Science one can use, no doubt, it is important, it has its own relevance, but everything is not understandable only by science. There are so many things beyond science. One of them is this, and today science is coming to that. In the opinion of science, world exists independent. It has a utility value, and science is trying to understand the working of the world. So it will tell you gravity is functioning like this, the creation is created like this, Big Bang has happened like this, electromagnetism works like this, and all the various scientific laws and the technology and the advancement and so many things. It will explain, which is fine. But its view is world exists separately, the world is always there, meaning from the creation time onwards, and one is only explaining certain working of the world. Vedanta is saying the world is not existing independent. There is the appearance and disappearance which happens. It is illusory. It is not there at all times. It is not only 5 elements. Science will see the world only as 5 elements. Vedanta is saying it is that 5 elements is only one material cause. There is an intelligent cause behind this. And so when one understands that, then one understands, okay, this world is existing separately and I am existing inside that world, and now I am trying to understand this world, is the view of view of science. Vedanta is saying you, the world and the so-called creator, they all are one only. They are appearances of one truth. So for science, creation is real. For Vedanta, creation is appearance. Very big difference. For science, creation is a production or modification. Is a production of 5 elements or a modification of 5 elements. Vedanta is saying it is neither production nor modification. It is only an appearance. Big difference. And what is the point? If I study Vedanta, I will know my true self, which will remove my sorrow forever. My study of science is not going to remove my sorrow forever. It can make my life comfortable, which is good, which has its own importance. But it can't remove my sorrow forever. It can't make me realize absolute bliss. It can't make me know who am I truly, because it's objective. So the pervasiveness of consciousness in the world is not like iron ball and fire, because in that there are 2 distinct entities, fire and iron ball. It is not like that. Then how is it? Is it like the mud and the pot? The mud pervades the pot. The material cause pervades the effect. Think. It is material cause pervading the effect. Yes, Swamiji, it has to be like that only. Cause only is if, cause in another form is the effect. Mud only appears as the cup and pitcher and saucer and all that. And so when that mud is in the form of the pot, that mud is pervading the whole pot. And that same mud, pot form goes, you can create cup and pitcher and saucer out of that. If that mud is not there, there is no pot, there is no cup. So it is like the effect pervading, the cause pervading the effect. In the same way, consciousness is pervading the world. Why? Because consciousness is only appearing as the world. Again, Vedanta also uses cause and effect, this example. But for a certain reason. The pervasiveness of consciousness in the world is not like the cause and effect pervasiveness. Why? Because in this, there is a pot which is produced from the cause. So the cause has the ability to produce something. How? Obviously not by itself. The mud by itself will not produce the pot. One intelligent entity called the potter has to be there to produce the pot. And whatever is produced will be finite, will be limited, it is perishable. In the same way, yes, the world is there and it is perishable also, but the cause is not a finite thing from where one intelligent cause is producing something. In the world example, the five elements become the material cause. And Ishvara, we may say that Ishvara is using the five elements and producing the creation. Is it like that? No, it is not like that. Why? Because then the potter becomes, the potter is Ishvara, right? So potter becomes different from the mud. In the example of potter and mud, the mud and the potter, they are two different entities. The potter will use the mud and produce the pot. Like that is Ishvara using five elements to produce the world? That is what one will say. But Vedanta says no, it is not like that. Because again there the consciousness becomes finite. Because the material cause exists apart from consciousness. So again this example, the pervasiveness of consciousness with the world does not, it is not like the mud pervading the pot. Then what is it like? It is like the substratum pervading the superimposition. And so the example given for that is the rope and the snake. What is the example of rope and snake now? The rope example is where one is seeing actually the rope, but for whatever reason the light is low, one's vision is not clear, one is not seeing the rope there, but one is seeing the snake. Now when one is seeing the snake there, then what happens? That rope is appearing as a snake because of delusion. If you put a torchlight there properly, then one will see, array, there is not a snake, there is only a rope. How the rope pervades the snake? Did the rope produce the snake? No. Did the rope modify to become the snake? No. Did the rope take on the qualities of that snake? No. Then what happened? Rope only appeared as the snake because of delusion. And when it appears as the snake, it is only the rope pervading the entire snake. Without the rope, there is no snake. Without the substratum, there is no superimposition. But when that is not understood properly, then one is seeing the snake, one doesn't know that there is actually a rope. One is seeing the snake, thinking that is real. Then one may even feel, array, I have got snake bite. Then there will be fear, I am going to die. And so many mental reactions will happen. All because I did not understand that there was only a rope which is appearing as the snake. There is no snake there really. And so consciousness pervades the world as the superimposition, as the substratum pervades the superimposition. Another example is what? The movie and the screen. The screen is a substratum which is appearing to us as the movie. Nothing is happening actually on the screen. But one is going through, when one is seeing, one is actually seeing only the screen and nothing but white screen. But all that color and the movement and the dance and the dialogues and the plot and everything, one gets excited. Because one forgot that there is a substratum there. And this is only a projection which is supported on that substratum. So the only way to understand consciousness pervades the whole world. Vedanta says that it pervades the whole world as the rope pervades the snake. The whole world is only an appearance, like the snake is an appearance of the rope. The rope has not produced it. Rope is not separate from it even when the projection is happening. Same way the supreme consciousness itself appears as the five elements which mix and merge and appear as the creation. There is no separate material cause, separate intelligent cause. And that's why the example given in Vedanta for creation is in the Mundaka Upanishad. Please remember, Mundaka Upanishad, different Upanishad. This is Mandukya Upanishad, different Upanishad. Two different. Don't mix up Mundaka Mandukya. Mundaka Upanishad says, Yathorna Nabhi Srijate Grinnate cha. Urna Nabhi, spider. How the spider creates the web? From where? From its own self it will create the web, and into it will take it back. Same way the consciousness only appears as the Upadana Karan, material cause, and consciousness only appears as the Nimitta Karan, intelligent cause. It is only one. Intelligent cause and the material cause is one in terms of in the view of Vedanta. Abhinna Nimitta Upadan Karan. That is what we call as Brahma. So it is not that Brahman is that big conflagration of fire from where sparks, small sparks have come. So Brahman is that infinite consciousness, and we are all amsha of that, chota, little. And now this amsha is called Atma. And now this small little Atma will go and merge with that big Paramatma. Nothing. There is only one truth appearing as all this. And when that person realizes, wakes up, one realizes, Arey, this whole Srishti was only one. I was thinking unnecessarily of duality and then getting scared. This is Advaita Vedanta. This is what he is saying, that consciousness which pervades all the worlds, moving, non-moving, the entire dream world. Is there a different material cause which the dreamer uses to project the dream world? No. The dream creator uses his own mind. Who is the dream creator? The waker's mind only is the dream creator. The five elements, everything which the dream creator uses to create the dream world is also the waker's mind only. And what is the dream world? Is it separate from the waker's mind? No, it is that waker's mind only appearing as the dream world. So the dream creator, the material with which the dream creator is creating the dream, and the effect which is the dream world, all the three are appearances of that one waker's mind. And the important point here in Vedanta is, whenever the material cause and the intelligent cause is the same, that creation will be an illusion, it will not be real. This is the Siddhanta. If the material cause and the intelligent cause are different, that creation will be finite, limited, appears very real. But when the material cause and the intelligent cause is the same, that creation has to be illusory only, and that example is the dream example. And which is why the whole Srishti is only an appearance, is illusory. Because the material cause and the intelligent cause is only one here. There cannot be two different things. So you think more about this. We have just covered the first line. More we will take up in our next class. For today I will stop here. If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask. Yes.
Swamiji, Ahankar identifying with Chidabhas is Jiva. So Ahankar identifying with consciousness is Brahman. So we have to shift the identity.
What are you asking?
Identification.
I didn't understand. How is Ahankar and Chidabhas two different things?
Jiva Bhav. Jiva is consciousness plus Chidabhas plus Ahankar.
Amma, you have confused a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Jiva, Ahankar, Chidabhas, they all are synonyms.
Okay.
Consciousness reflecting in subtle body, which is the five senses of knowledge, five senses of action, five pranas, mind, intellect, memory, ego. This subtle body Consciousness reflecting in that is what we call as Jiva, is what we call as Chidabhas, is what we call as Ahankar in general. तो अब ये इसमें तीन में फर्क नहीं है.
Okay, Swami.
Namaste, Swamiji. You said the dream creator, the material with which the dream is created, and the dream itself
The
is
dream
the
world.
same.
Yeah, dream
Sorry.
world. Yeah, the dream
Yeah.
world. They all the three are
Yeah.
the same.
They're the same waking mind, you said?
Yeah, Waker's mind only appears as all the three, no?
Okay, so there is nothing called a dream mind at all?
So dream mind is of that one character in the dream world.
Okay.
If you want to say that one character's dream mind, that you can say, or the dream creator is what you are calling as dreamer, then that is also okay. Depends on what is your usage and understanding.
Okay, thank you. Namaste, Swamiji.
In that analogy, it has to be clear that the waker is Brahman, dream creator or the dreamer is Ishvara, the dream world is Jagat. The five elements which are being used by the dream creator is that Upadan Karan, material cause,
Okay.
which is making the dream. And the dream world is this Jagat. In that Jagat, there are different jivas. They are the
Okay.
dream jivas.
Okay. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.